What's up, beautiful people? Thanks for joining me for another solo episode. Excited to have you on the podcast. Before I get into the topic, I'm going to describe the feeling and see if you can resonate and just assume what the topic's going to be from there. So, it is this feeling of wanting clarity desperately now, the fear of wasting time, and the shame of being unsure. These are feelings that I have wrestled with for the past probably 6 weeks or so. And for me, that's just a long time to carry a specific experience. Of course, so many experiences, they come and go. You never know how long they're going to last. But the fatigue that it caused me, I was like, okay, it's time to address this. And so I've already spoiled the second word, but it is decision fatigue. Not sure what's in the stars, what's in the moon, what's in the air. Not sure if you've been experiencing the same thing, but I have had major decision fatigue for the past few weeks, and it's weighed on me. And again, part of my processing is sharing that with my community, checking in with my community. Is this something you're dealing with? Is this something you're struggling through, processing, working through, or are you on the other side of it? Right. And so I looked up the definition of decision fatigue because I wanted to make sure that was what I was experiencing. So I got this definition from ChatGPT, and it says decision fatigue is the mental and emotional exhaustion that builds up when you're constantly having to make choices, especially when those choices feel high stakes, uncertain, or unending. It's not about being indecisive, it's about being tired from deciding. That hit home because I have definitely been telling myself, oh, I'm indecisive, I'm indecisive. And I'm like, no, you're not. You've worked through this so many times. Yes, I am a Libra, and indecisiveness is a part of our nature. Sure. Shout out to my Libras. But as a leader, as a producer, as a host, as a listener, I've had to make very quick decisions pretty often and have trained myself in certain areas to be pretty fast with decision making. Yes, there are some areas I still work on, and maybe that's what's been, pretty big this 6 weeks. But in general, I try not to say, "Oh, I'm just indecisive," because words are powerful, and that's something I used to say about myself, and it used to make me feel like I wasn't a good decision maker, and I didn't like that feeling. So I appreciate the definition because it's not just about being indecisive. It's not even about that. It's about being tired of having to decide, of having to come up with something, especially when you feel like it's high stakes. That's the clarity right there. When the choice feels high stakes, right? And I think that has really been a glaring moment to my relationship with my nervous system. Now, I don't know about you and in your process and in your moments of decision fatigue, but what's going on in your nervous system? Because for me, I just felt so exhausted and so disconnected, and that was making me feel very discouraged and just like not like a little bit of the shame, right? Of like, why can't I make this decision? Why can't I figure this out? Why am I taking too long to make decisions? And there were just such a series of decisions that were happening. I'm in the middle of a big move. So that's already a major transition. I was like finishing up a contract. And so I was like getting my time back in a different way. So now I was trying to like make sure I use all my time in the right way and blah, blah, blah. So there's just like a lot of little things, also growing the business, working with different team members. What do I need to be doing as a team leader? All of that, right? And so I have been trying to sit with what is this overwhelm trying to tell me? Here are a few things I've jotted down. My nervous system wants to rest, and it wants to make decisions from rest and not pressure. Now, that's really frustrating because so many of the decisions felt like pressure, but I had to sit with the felt like and differentiate, is it a feeling or is it what it is? Is it actually pressure, or do you just feel like it's pressure? And I'm not saying it's not valid if you feel like it is, because our feelings are valid, but do we have to take that whole thing on, right? Do we have to move from that direction? We're allowed to acknowledge the feeling and move past it and say, you're not welcome here right now, but thanks for trying to protect me, right? We could go that route. But for me, that was not the route I was going. I was feeling the pressure, and it was absolutely starting to, compound on how much these decisions started to weigh on me and feel probably a bit bigger than they really were, right? And that linked to my fear of getting things wrong. I don't think it's about a lack of intuition. I think our gut is our gut for a reason. This also means we need to be taking our probiotics, our chia seeds. We need to be cleaning our gut, doing colon cleanses. That's a side note, but I just had to say that because we got to keep our guts clean. We got to take it seriously because that gut intuition is real, right? And when we feel like we can't hear it, we feel like we're far from it, it really affects our day to day. And I think I knew, but I was so slow to making decisions because I was afraid of getting things wrong. Now, I don't know if it was because I was going off of past evidence that I got things wrong, or that I just I had gotten things right and I wanted to keep getting things right. I'm still sitting with that because there is no getting things wrong. If we're really, really serious and talk to God about this, what are we talking about that we're getting wrong? Okay, it might not have been what we expected. It might have been a different path. It might be, a different timing, but it's all a lesson. There are no losses. Now, human being wise, there are losses, but there are all of the experiences are for lessons. All of them are teaching us something. All of them are leading us somewhere. All of them are calling us into something new or something different or something unexpected. And that is one of the most honest parts of the human experience, recognizing that I will never always know. And so acting like I know just does nothing but keep me worried, keep my body and my nervous system not regulated, not at peace. And yeah, I really had to sit with my fear of getting things wrong and where is that coming from? Why am I allowing that to not only feed me, but steer the ship, drive the car, right? Why would I let you, okay, I get it, fear. You're trying to protect me, but you need to be in the back. You need to be in the back seat with your seatbelt on, not touching the music, not talking, not saying we should go left or right. You're here because you're a part of the human experience, but you can't drive the car. You see what I'm saying? Fear cannot drive the car. So that's another thing I've realized that the overwhelm was trying to tell me. And lastly, how does this show up for you physically? For me, when I get a tightness of chest, when my chest is tight, I'm you're doing too much. I am so much better at regulating that within my body because I've had those experiences already. And I can thankfully say that hasn't been a huge part of this version of decision fatigue. But I know it has been in the past. And that's probably because I started working out again and really just trying to add more physical activity and take care of my body in that way. But if you've experienced that, your body is telling you it's too much. I can't make a sensible decision this way. I love you. I am you. Let's take care of me. Relax. It shows up in irritability. Oof. Y'all know when friends and family call you, you just mad, you just angry, you just irritated. You don't even know why. You can't even name it in the moment, but you're just I'm trying to get through something, but I don't feel like explaining it. So just call me back. That has definitely happened for me. It shows up in spiraling, worst case scenarios that have never happened to you, things you think you can protect yourself from. I know, again, it's a part of the human experience. We are just trying to catch it. We're trying to save it. We're trying to get ahead of it. But that clearly means we're not present, right? There is wisdom in looking ahead, but there is deep joy and a gift and being in the now, being where your feet are at. And another thing, I think it definitely shows up in doing nothing, not even making any decision at all. And indecisiveness in general, or doing nothing, making no choice, is really the fastest way to hurting ourselves the deepest and doubting ourselves and not believing in ourselves anymore. Because once you have enough time going by where you're just not doing anything, where you become, so paralyzed by this decision, now any choice you make feels wrong. You sat with it too long. You took it too seriously. Of course, decisions matter. Like adulting is crazy. Who knew? Who knew it was going to come with all these decisions? No idea. They could have put that in the books. But now that we're here, now that we know, we cannot allow ourselves to be paralyzed. That would be very, very unfortunate, especially because there's just so much more to do. There's so much more to learn. The average person makes 35,000 decisions a day, and you're probably not average. So these are some of the soul questions I have been asking myself to ease the decision fatigue and soften into just making a decision. I'm not going to answer them all now, but I would love you to reflect on these and see what resonates with you. So one of the first ones is, if I didn't need to get it right, what would I choose right now? Love. Is this choice rooted in fear or alignment? What would my body feel when I say this choice out loud? That one's so special because I think that every day I'm deepening my relationship with my body. Every day we need to be deepening our relationships with our bodies. Again, society, as soon as we get here on this earth, they try to disconnect us from our bodies. So just trying to recognize the parts of that feel safe, the parts that feel aligned, the parts that feel at ease, what's feeling tension, and being willing to listen to it, even in those soft moments, even in those nervous moments, even in those lonely moments, being willing to hear what our body is saying out loud. Who am I trying to please with this decision? For my people pleasers out there, who am I trying to please with this decision? Is it about looking a certain way? Is it about coming off a certain way? Am I neglecting myself with this decision? Am I abandoning myself with this decision? Am I crossing a boundary of mine with this decision? These are also sub questions under that. Who am I trying to please with this decision? Lastly, can I let this be a temporary choice instead of a forever one? Now, this question really hits home for me because I have grown up thinking I need to know it all at once. I need to be certain in my choices. I can't change my mind. That was in my belief systems. That was in the way you show up for people, to show up in the world. Although there is some integrity in that, in obviously keeping your word, there is also no room for nuance and the realness of the human experience, which is constantly changing. So we are constantly changing. We are evolving. So can I let this be a temporary choice instead of a forever one? Can I make a choice now knowing that I am allowed to change my mind? Just knowing that means if I don't like it, I can move. I can switch up. I can go left instead of right, And I think for me, like reframing this season and coming out of the mindset of like, okay, I'm in decision fatigue. I'm never going to figure this out. I'm never going to understand, blah, blah, blah. And saying like not knowing isn't actually failure. It's a sacred place. It's the quiet before alignment drops in. And I say that because so much of this season that I was trying to figure things out, I was like, am I not in alignment? But I actually forgot to honor that I'm on the way to it. Right. And that's why it feels uncomfortable. And that's why it's a little bit loud. And that's why it's a bit uncertain, because that's what the journey is. It's on the way. You're not in it yet. You're in the moment before. Right. And how do you treat yourself during that moment? It matters how you treat yourself. Treat yourself with grace, with love, with integrity, with understanding, with empathy. Right. And just recognizing I am a human being, and me not knowing is okay. I'm allowed to not know. I'm allowed to figure it out. How else would you get to that thing? You don't go from knowing to knowing. You go from like, I had no idea to, wow, now I know. And that's how it goes. And I think we just don't give credit to that. So I invite you to not see the moments of uncertainty as a punishment, those moments of uncertainty as failure. I invite you to see it as a part of your experience, as allowed, as necessary and sacred, and so important. Lastly, I will share this mantra Clarity will meet me when I'm rested and ready. Love would say, keep going. Keep going. And then trying to figure out, should I pivot? Should I blah, 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 should I, is it this? Is it that? Is it what? You're actually already going. So just keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. You know, I'm saying going and coming because for me, it's about a move that's been on my mind and heart and been making me feel a little bit of pressure and definitely started that spiral of decision fatigue. So I just want to share that with you guys. I hope this helps. I hope you're able to write some things down, jot some things down, reflect as I was reflecting with you and alongside you. I love you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to you. And we are evolving every single day. We are moving through uncertainty as well as extreme sacred experiences of the human experience every single day. So own that, love that, call that out, acknowledge that, and take care of yourselves. Lots of love. Until next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Human to Human. If you like this episode, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and share with a friend. Check out our playlist for new episodes of the show. And remember, curiosity is the pathway to consciousness. So let's take the next step together.